then his call to me was that he had been diagnosed with bladder cancer. Now, for anybody, that's a terrifying diagnosis, but for Bill, it's like that times 10, because Bill is deathly afraid of going to the hospital. He just is in a panic if he has to go there. And his children are, being born, and he can barely go to the hospital and see his children being born. In fact, at one point, he tells the story of being in the hospital, and he's there, and he's perspiring, and he's sweating, and he's scared. He's like, I can't believe it. Because what he's really scared of is hospital equipment. Heat equipment, this pokey stuff and everything is bad. And there's a piece of equipment over there, and he's looking at it and goes, oh my God, how can they put that piece of equipment out where just anybody can see it? I'm going to throw up and pass out in that order. So he's sitting watching this little piece of equipment, and this gentleman walks into the room with a bandana around his head, and he walks over to this piece of very dangerous and frightening, scary hospital equipment, and he plugs it in. And he starts buffing the floor with it. But that's the point. The reality of a thing is not the think of a thing. The reality of a thing is the feel of a thing. For Bill, it didn't really matter. So his doctor understood this absolute phobia Bill had of going to the hospital, and that he was going to have to be going quite often now. And so they prescribed Xanax for him. Bill said, chemotherapy, Xanax, good. In fact, he said the bad thing was that his family gave him an iPod with 50s tunes on it. And so he would take his Xanax and he would go in, and they had to put him in a separate room for his chemotherapy because he liked to sing along with his 50s tunes. But his doctor knew that's the most and best important thing that he could do, is he's got to feed his emotions. Got to feed his emotions to help his body heal itself. I knew how important that was to him, and I also knew how the community, they cared so much for him, so I thought, I gotta make fun of this, I gotta help him laugh, because Bill absolutely loved to laugh. Every day, it was maybe the highest priority in every single day. And even through the entire duration of his chemotherapy, that was his focus in every conversation he had. So I had his Letterman jacket made up, and I put the Xanax logo on it. I like it, there we go, yeah. Now, I thought, well, that's a fun idea, but most people would just leave it there. Bill did not leave it there. Bill had that picture made into business cards with that statement on the bottom, a proud sponsor of Xanax therapy. Hey, people, oh, that's just a silly, dumb thing to do. But think about this. What was happening is people were coming into the credit union. They care for Bill. They want to try to do something nice, and so they want to commiserate. Bill, I'm so sorry. Right? But is that feeding his positive emotions, or is that right? So Bill said, I gotta change, I gotta take control of how I feel about what's going on, just like you do. In every day. You gotta figure out, how do I find a way to feel the way I want to feel? Because the way you feel, you think, the way you think makes you feel the way you feel. Bill said, I gotta take control of that. So he had the business cards made, so people would come up to commiserate with him, and instead he'd go like, what? Look at that card right there. And so then what would they begin to talk about? They begin to laugh and encourage and believe in the possibilities and not live based on fear. Because so many people in so many days, we just live on fear because that's our view of the world. Bill changed the view of his world and therefore changed the view of the world all around him.